about Pope Francis. So be doing another video later tonight on that, so hopefully you'll catch that on YouTube. If it doesn't get posted tonight, it will be up in the morning because I will be recording that later tonight. Anyway, let's continue on. Another very shocking news article that I picked up off of RT News. RT News is reporting they actually have footage. You can see this on Israeli News Live on our Facebook page of Israeli News Live. I've posted this article from RT News there. They have caught two newsreel film clips that have been brought in. One was by a Ukrainian or a Russian news agency that have filmed what is believed to be American troops in Mariupol, Ukraine. This is where a battle just was going on recently. Let me read to you what the article says. Here's armed people in uniform speaking fluent English with no accent have been spotted in Mariupol in the aftermath of the rocket hit, fueling allegation that foreign private military contractors are serving among Ukrainian troops. The port city in eastern Ukraine under Kiev's control saw a surge of violence on Saturday when several rockets hit the residential area in the east of the city, reportedly killing 30 civilians. Numerous videos from the scene showed destruction in the aftermath of the attack, for which local militia and Ukraine troops blamed each other. But among footage shot in Mariupol, there are some videos showing armed men in military uniform who speak English fluently. One video uploaded on YouTube is apparently raw footage of a local news channel, MSN, in Mariupol that actually filmed this. Now, what's kind of funny is, let me go ahead and read a little bit more here. The man holds a carbine in his hand and is wearing a tactical vest. That's on the first video you'll see. As the correspondent points her microphone with the request to comment, the man covers his face with the other hand and says in an American or Canadian accent, "Out of my face, out of my face." Now, I have listened to this, and I use Bose headphones so I can get some clarity there. And, the Russian people may not be as good as what we can here in America listening to the accent there, but he clearly has a very much more of a North United States type of accent. He does not have an English accent from Britain, neither Australia. They say Canadian possibly. No, I don't believe it's Canadian either. I'm very well understand those type of accents, but clearly seems to be an American. Now, the second video footage is also another English-speaking pair of people there. Now, they do tend to have an accent there. It could be an English accent. Not really sure on that one there. But the first guy is definitely an American. And of course, the carbine does show that he is actually carrying weapons that would be used like local soldiers, like the Ukrainians would be using. But these are men that are extremely well trained. Now, RT believes that these are actually military contractors that are being brought in. And of course, the United States could easily stop anything like that. But the U.S. is allowing this because they know the Ukraine soldiers need help. And so they've got men, no doubt, former very professional soldiers that are going in there to do this. These are people that are trained to kill, no doubt about it. Another article I wanted to share with you as well. And I really, this article here I think is very important to bring to your attention because I had I believe, I'm sure it was a Russian man that had commented on the news that we did recently about the U.S. Russia willing to back Texas in seceding from the Union. Now, of course, we are not for any state to secede from the United States. The United States is stronger if it stays together. I do believe this 100%. The problem in the United States, kind of like what Jeb Bush says, he says that Russia is a great people and a great country. He's just against President Putin. And I'm not against President Putin by no means. I think that President Putin, like any other politician, has his faults, has problems, has issues. But I do believe he's trying to protect the Russian-speaking people in eastern Ukraine as well as in Crimea. And I think he has a right to do that. And the whole world has come against this man. And, some people have accused me of being a supporter of Russia in this. I'm a supporter of what's right and what's wrong. And it is a clear fact that the U.S. toppled the Ukrainian government. And in return, they have come in and they have taken and put a neo-Nazi regime in place. And this is why innocent people are being murdered in eastern Ukraine. But anyway, when I did the report the other day, the report that I was seeing on the news that I was actually seeing going on is that it looked like that Russia may be willing to go ahead and go to war, because these were the reports that we were seeing that were being posted on different news links, and that's what I shared with the people. And one person said that this was not correct, that Russia has always looked for diplomacy. And I agree with that. President Putin has always looked for a diplomatic way to resolve the crisis in Ukraine, as well as trying to resolve this issue of all the sanctions put against him. But clearly, the Barack Obama administration is not allowing Germany nor France to back out of this NATO agreement to sanction Russia. There are many countries, though, that do not want to see Russia sanctioned, including Slovakia and the Czech Republic are two of those, and there's been others that have voiced opposition against the sanctions against Russia, because it is hurting these countries not to be able to do business with Russia. But nonetheless, I do not believe that even the Barack Obama administration is really the key problem in all of this as far as the United States, as much as it is the Vatican, who is determined to do a land grab as much as they possibly can to get world dominance for the New World Order. There again, as we've stated before, though, this could be that all parties involved, including President Putin, this may be just a staged event anyway. As we've said before, there are border crossings popping up in the former Soviet, on the border of former Soviet states bordering Europe. So, is it kind of like what's going on in Israel? We see one thing, but another thing is going on altogether. But let me bring this article out again. RT News published this as well. Russia has no aggressive plans, will always prefer political settlement. That's according to Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. And we've seen this time and time again. Of course, we see the same thing even from Barack Obama, saying that they want a political settlement. But needless to say, on the U.S.'s side, we have watched the tanks and troops and everything else pour into the former Soviet states. Now, as far as from the U.S. side, they say that this needs to be done in order to protect the former Soviet states from Russian aggression. I don't even know sometimes where to go with that. But let me go ahead and read this article here. Russia is not threatening anyone, according to what Vladimir Putin is saying, anyone, and will always prefer peaceful solution to international conflict. President Vladimir Putin has said, adding that military forces are still important as a guarantee of national sovereignty. We are not threatening anyone and seek to resolve all conflict situations throughout political means with respect towards the international law and other national interests. He stated on Thursday in his speech before graduates of military academies, Putin emphasized in his speech that Russia was an open country ready to cooperate with any nation on equal conditions. The Russian leader added that he saw many challenges to the country, including some of the immediate vicinity of Russia's borders, and these challenges were the main reason the country needed strong, modern, and adequately armed military force, he said. This is a guarantee of Russia's sovereignty and territorial integrity, a guarantee of peaceful and calm life of millions of our compatriots. Putin said, promising that the authorities will continue the support of the military and complete the ongoing major reform of the forces. The president mentioned the strategic nuclear forces and space forces as a priority for active development. He also reminded the officers that the military were regularly receiving newest weaponry developed by Russia's specialists, examples of which we recently presented at the Army 2015 exhibition. Now you can read the rest of the article on our Israeli News Facebook page, Israeli News Live that is, and continue on from there. But I'm just really concerned as I'm watching the events that are unfolding. And I've mentioned to several, in fact, last time I mentioned to people that a good documentary to watch is The Way Home, that Russia put together regarding Crimea and what happened there. It gives you an alternative perspective of the events that are transpiring in Eastern Europe. And I really strongly encourage that people were to watch this, because I'm trying to be neutral in this particular conflict, watching the situation unfold. I was born an American. I love the United States with all my heart. It is a Christian nation founded on Christian principles. Although unfortunately, as we have seen recently in the news, with the United States Supreme Court in support of gay marriage, we have seen that the United States has officially turned to a government of Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know exactly what happened in the case of Sodom and Gomorrah. So people might say that there is freedom, but the nation is on a downcline. And we cannot expect anything but the judgment of Almighty God. I mean, the United States totally turned against Israel and could care less about the Israeli people anymore. And it's sad to say that. It's sad to see this situation as it is. And now the moral decay of the country is going down. And by the way, let me just say this. You think you have freedom in this country, but you don't. And this is what I want to say in closing in this broadcast here. And those of you that are on the live stream, if you'd like, I'll take some of your questions in just a moment here at the end of the news here for the YouTube channel. But I want to just say this here. Let me show you how your freedom is being taken from you as American citizens. The United States was founded on the fundamentals of Christianity. The founding fathers that came here, and I know that a lot of people say it was Masons, Jesuits, etc. We know that the Jesuits overtook the country. That was clear. And when Ronald Reagan was president, that was our first sign that this country was taken over. But there still was a lot of good people that came in the early years of this country. They wanted freedom of religion, wanted to be away from Catholicism, and even the early founding fathers said, never let the Pope of Rome step foot in this country. The day it does, this country will go downhill. Now we see it's going downhill. You see the law being passed for gay marriage. And the seriousness of this is, when I say that your freedom is being taken away, if you are a minister of a